to the channel. My name is Nana Gecko, and welcome back to more of me reading fan fictions. It's been a couple days. I had to do various other videos, as you can see on the channel, but let's go ahead and continue from where I left off. This is chapter 5, Hanako-san, the toilet. Let's see. Stupid advertisement. The boy's eyes widen at the amethyst eyes staring at him. Not just a pair, but a pair belonging to the spirit next to him. The ghost touched his hat on his head, a devious smile now plastered his face. My, aren't you a strange thing? His breath locked in his throat, seeing this ghostly boy up close, the same one that vanished just minutes ago. But in Yugi's eyes, he couldn't tell he was a ghost. Are you dead? Came from his mouth, complete confusion. In Yugi's eyes alone, the so-called ghost looked more solid. His uniform wasn't that of an older school uniform, but very similar to what he himself was wearing. Yugi's eyes, this ghost looked human, looked alive, even though he clearly saw him vanish before. My, your eyes have been cursed, it seems. At this point, Ko let go of his cousin to turn to the black-garbed ghost. What? What are you talking about? Ko's eyes looked over the boy who still hugged the high school girl. The look of disbelief was prominent on his face. The boy's amber eyes looked to Ko, a curious smile on his face. Shonen, who's this oddity? The same amber eyes that looked his cousin over looked back at Yugi. Yashiro pushed off from the boy. Hanako-kun, don't just pop up like that. You could have scared Muto-kun. The ghost, Hanako, smiled playfully, putting his hands behind his back. Gomen. Ko opened his mouth to speak. Hanako, this is my cousin Muto Yugi. Yugi, meet the leader of the 7 Wonders. Hanako-san of the toilet. 7 Wonders. That rang in Yugi's mind. Ko mentioned them. He said people with sensitivity to the supernatural could see them. So how come he could see the being, but not as a ghost at all? Yami looked at the ghost. In his eyes, he could see Hanako as clearly as Yashiro and Ko could, in his dark school uniform and half visible appearance. What do you mean by Yugi's eyes being cursed? Yami didn't know too much about Yugi's life story outside his grandpa. He didn't know anything about his mother or father, so Yugi's eyes to be cursed, he felt, had something to do with the deceased or absent parental figures. He got the cursed vision of the dead. It prevents exorcists or their bloodline from properly distinguishing the living from the dead. Similarly, I got this accurately. Yugi here seeing me as I was before. Hanako looked at the young new student. He was a little uneasy having a human see him for what he looked like when he was alive. He couldn't predict what he looked like in the boy's eyes. How could this have happened? Ko rubbed his neck, pondering the action. Yugi looked down, just as confused as why this happened. I'm just speculating, but maybe your mother had something to do with this, Yugi? Yugi's eyes widened at Yami, who had his arms crossed, his hand to his jaw as he thought. Ko flexed his fist eagerly. Oto-san might know about this. We can talk about it with him later. Right now, let's eat lunch before class starts again. The 2 high school students agree as they eat, Hanako hovering curiously over the 3. Yami kept giving Hanako the stink eye, who acting like the age he died, sticks his tongue out to age his spirit. So how exactly old are you, Hanako? Yami took a seat next to Yugi, still giving the ghost annoyed looks. Hanako floated above Yugi and Yashiro's head, smirking down at the 2 look-alike spirits. Roughly 50 years old. Yugi, who's mid-drink, spits his juice out. Ko starts chuckling as he patted his cousin's back, who started coughing. Daijoubu, Itoko. Yugi starts laughing himself. So what's your story, Mystery Spectre? Hanako, now with more seriousness in his eyes, looked Yami over. He's never seen a possession-bound spirit like Yami before. Well, I don't know my real name, so Yuki and his friends back home call me Yami. Yuki looked at his friend, smiling. Yami's really cool. My grandpa actually gave me this puzzle 8 years ago. I slowly put it together, and just after school started, I finished it. At the time, I was always picked on, and I didn't really have friends. So when I finished the puzzle, I made a wish to have friends that would stick with me through everything. Sadly, I didn't expect to lose my grandpa. Ko stood up and walked behind his cousin and ruffled his hair. You got us now, right, senpai? Yugi blinked his eyes and looked at the cream-colored hair girl next to him, who smiled while eating her bento. She swallowed and jabbed a finger at Yugi. Why wouldn't I be your friend, Muto-kun? You're the same relationship that I have with Hanako-kun, albeit a bit different. Her words make Yugi remember how Ko mentioned Yashiro's and her connection to the supernatural. Ko mentioned you were connected. How are you and Hanako connected? Hanako, who again in Yugi's eyes appeared to be standing in front of the group, who was actually floating casually. She's my assistant. This silly daikon took something she thought would fit with her crush on her senpai, and now we're connected. Hanako's explanation was lackluster. Yugi went pry further as he sighed, finishing his lunch. The only thing that clicked was the fact that Hanako had called Yashiro a radish. He wondered about it, but Yashiro's voice broke his thoughts. Hanako-kun, we'll be by after school, okay? Yashiro took her lunch as they walked back into the building to toss it into the trash as they walked downstairs and out of the old school building. Hanako had opened a window and was waving bye to the students as Ko broke off from the two high school students as they walked back. Is Teru Itoko really that popular among students? Yugi asked bashfully, kind of nervous to return to class as they were going to science. Yashiro giggled a little, covering her mouth slightly with her hand. He's like one of the top hottest guys in school. That made Yugi whistle in surprise. Wow, I didn't expect that. Wonder if Ko's that popular in his grade. Yashiro looked surprised as she stared at him walking next to her as they to the high school building. You and Minamoto-senpai don't talk much? Yugi shook his head downheartedly. He wanted to be closer to his older cousin, but since he's been there, Teru has been busy non-stop. Though it's only been a day since I've been here, I hope that by the weekend he'll be less busy and more open to talking and stuff. Yashiro gives him a tap on the shoulder. He looks at her. It'll take time. You can do, Muto-kun. For now, let's get settled in science. The two walked into the classroom, and they were at these tall, two-person table desk. Schmidt practically threw a parade when Yuki walked in. Yuki-kun, I saved you a seat. He sat the third row from the back. Yashiro gave Yuki a smile and waved. See you later, Muto-kun. Yami stood by Yashiro, who sat up front while Yugi sat next to Schmidt. Hi, Schmidt. How was getting chased by Akane-san? The redhead dropped under the table, shaking. Clay, he's a scary bastard. Yugi's sweat dropped, patting his dual-colored-eyed friend. Yugi could see Yashiro and Yami whispering since he was by her desk. He smiled at the sight. He's glad Yami finally could be seen and talked to despite his situation. Yugi-kun, how's your day so far? Schmidt's question goes unanswered as a few classmates walks in and see Yugi and nearly trample over to their desk. Ah, Nani, what's going on? Yugi freaked, hiding under the table. Muto-san, are you related to Minamoto-senpai and his younger brother? Is it true? Luckily for Yugi, the sensei walked in. The teacher was tall, 6-foot male with black hair in the back and a parted front of white hair with glasses, having deep purple eyes. He was dressed down in a purple button-down white lab coat, jacket, black pants, and a pair of slip-on house shoes. He even wore black gloves to cover his hands. Hi, settle down. Sit! Yami got a good look at the teacher. What was odd was the teacher glanced at him, a puzzled expression flashed his face before addressing the class. We have a new student, Yugi. Make him feel welcome. As for me, I am your science teacher, and I work in the library. My name is Tsuchigomori. Now let's get started. Yugi felt odd about this teacher. It was the same odd feeling he got from Hanako earlier. Like something was there, but it was something he himself couldn't see completely. He'd make a mental note and ask either Ko or Yashiro about their teacher later, as he watched the class take a test he wasn't there for. Classes that afternoon were a little slow as he was in their class. They had gardening. Yugi never got down in the dirt before. She led him to the gardening classroom where the supplies were kept. Oh, this is neat, Yashiro-san. He looked around as the girl grabbed the largest watering can the boy ever saw. They walked outside and around the small garden as the class pruned and tended to the flowers and plants there while Yashiro and a few other students cared for the plants, getting them watered. He couldn't ask more about the seven wonders with other people around. Yugi knew the rumors were real, but he also wanted to know the truth behind the rumors. Who were the spirits or who was in charge of them? Again, he would have to wait. He didn't mind he was having an amazing time. Maybe the whole move was a good thing after all. He felt nothing bad could happen. Soon classes were finished, and with a notebook filled with supplies he needed for class safely put in his bag, Ko and Yashiro took Yugi to meet back up in the old school building from lunchtime. You said that your friend Hanako, he's the seventh wonder. What's his rumor? Yashiro spoke up as the three walked up stairs. Did you hear? In the third stall in the girls' bathroom of the old school building, you'll find Hanako-san. She'll grant you one wish in exchange for something precious. To summon her, knock 3 times on the stall door and say, Hanako-san, Hanako-san, are you there? Yugi blinked in surprise, so he grants wishes. Why does his rumor state he's a girl? Yashiro shrugged at the last part of his sentence, while Ko chuckled casually. Not many have been able to summon him, sadly, so his wish-granting skills are mediocre. He says this just as they reach the bathroom, the door slamming open, nearly hitting Ko in the face. Who's mediocre, shonen? Hanako says creepily, sending shivers down both boys' spines while Yashiro pales. Ha ha ha! He was kidding! Yugi stammers, sweating a little. Yami gave the younger girls a dirty look. Amado. Hanako meets the spirit's intensity, but cave as to not scare off his assistant. Hi, come in. He floats back into the bathroom. It's so strange. You guys can see him completely different than how I'm seeing him. Yugi spoke, his tone almost in a saddened way. Whoever put this curse on you must have done it for a reason. Either to protect you completely from the supernatural, or to hide a gift that you possess. Hanako concluded, his eyes just danced excitement over the situation. You think Yugi could be gifted? Ko injected into the conversation, his teal blue eyes looking the ghost boy in hard wonder. He knew about gifts. They ranged from the amount of spiritual power an exorcist had to the abilities they could do. Hanako nodded. Wonder if your ghost friend can access these gifts. Yugi blinked in surprise. He knew Yami could use his body, but he didn't know if he could do anything inside it. If that was the case, I already would have, since we've been in contact for the last 4 months. I would have been able to find something this strange. Hanako shook his head at Yami's explanation, taking it coolly. Sate, time to get cleaning. Ghost Boy brought out mops and buckets, which confused Yugi. Huh? An explanation later. What do you mean you two been mopping and cleaning the bathroom? Yugi looked at his cousin and new friend with pure pity. To be fair, I helped Senpai so she doesn't get stuck here late. Ko tried to dig himself out of the grave his words put him in. Yami looked at them with even deeper pity. He felt truly sorry for the two to be at the mercy of a ghost who enjoyed a clean toilet. Yeah, I should have cried in front of the two. She was truly a sad case, despite Hanako not being the least bit threatening at the moment. Is this just a lame excuse to say I want to hang out with you, but you're too shy to express it, so you do it in a mocking and teasing manner? Yumi's answer was so blunt that Hanako's expression went completely blank and almost despair. How could you know that? His hushed words were directed at Yami as he had the spirit by the shirt, his hand having a fistful of it. Yami chuckles. Just because you act mysterious and aloof doesn't mean you can hide your true feelings. You just want to spend time with these two. It doesn't hurt for a ghost like us to call people our friends. That reached Hanako's heart, making him turn bright red. He got bashful in seconds, moving far away from them to the far wall by the window, putting his face to the wall. He ruffles his hair awkwardly as he walks to the not-so-ghost in his eyes. Hanako, there's nothing wrong with wanting to spend time with friends. You just have to be honest about it. His amber eyes met the young boy's amethyst eyes. Yugi smiled. You just made a new friend in me and Yami. Good job. He patted the ghost's shoulder, who looked in amazement. The two look-alikes in front of him. Suddenly, the broadcast aired. They could hear in the bathroom. Went to Yugi to the art room. Ko, Yashiro, and Hanako watched the new student grab his bag from where he left it on the floor and walked out. Bye-bye. See you later, Ko. He hurried himself down to the art room. He was close to the bottom steps on the last landing by the classroom. 7, 6, 5, 4. Yugi blinked his eyes, and suddenly he wasn't inside the school anymore. He stood at the foot of a long, winding staircase that leads through a shrine gates and large buildings all around him. There were paper lanterns covering the place in an orange-red glow of light. Yami? We aren't in Kamome Academy anymore, are we? Yugi's shock mirrored the spirits as both looked around the hidden area. Yugi, I have a bad feeling we're trapped. Those two words made Yugi's heart stop. Okay, that's it. Sorry for the cliffhanger, you guys. I made it that way on purpose. I hope you guys enjoyed this little chapter reading. I hope you guys stay tuned for the next one pretty soon. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.